What's poppin'? What's good with y'all, man? I know y'all came to holler at me real quick over here at the Hood Films brand. What's good with everybody? I appreciate y'all stopping through. What's good? What's good? Yeah, I was gonna actually pull up a picture of the people who I want to talk about today, but we'll just put something else up there for now. Let's see. I'll go with this logo. No, not that logo. Not that logo. But anyway, everybody, what's going on, man? I'm gonna give y'all some dope information about how to turn creativity into cash flow. I just put my own self up there. I'm the boss anyway. So let me make sure everything's working. My sound is good. Wow, my sound is good. That's good. So today's show, let me see if I can put my microphone on. We gotta use a little technology. We're doing some microphones right quick. And I hope y'all having a great day. You know what I'm saying? So what's good to everybody? I'm having a super duper day. As you can see right now, you see me wearing my brand. My brand. My brand is called Hood Films, right? So, got the shirt, hat. We got the t-shirt too. Superhero status. That actually was a good stretch. But anyway, as I break it down for you guys today, I saw some interesting stuff today because I started my brand Hood Films mad years ago. And as I got to the age I am now, obviously I got my trademark, I got my brand, I got my movies. Let me put my movie on in the comment section too, because we always got to promote my movies because that's what we're here for. Let me make sure my sound is still good too, because I got a new microphone on. My love it, love it. Sounds great. So anyway, I want to talk to you guys about somebody who I seen online, and I thought this was a dope shit. This was just so fucking amazing. Just learning about this guy and the things that he's done, and it's so crazy too, because it's the first time myself even hearing about this person. I never even knew he existed, you know. But it's so dope, and I'm glad to bring some information to y'all about this kind of stuff because we need to know this. You need to know this. I need to know this. We need to know about everybody. So let me go ahead and put this up real quick, which is my movie, which is called Kill a Rapper. And I got to make sure I put my movie in the thing every day. Here it is right here. I'm making some more movies and all that stuff. I always make movies. I'm making movies for the rest of my life while I'm on this earth. And I should suggest that you do your creative thing too. But I just don't make movies because I also do raps now. I rap. I got my own album out. It's called Self-Madeology. And that's going to tie into what we're talking about today too. I'll chat about that in a minute, but I'm going to put this in the comment section. Check out my new movie. Okay, hold up. Am I writing? Okay, it moved away. New movie. Kill a Rapper. Right there. I'm gonna make sure I put that up there so when people slide through, you already know it's popping off right now, and it's on Tubi, and it's free. It's free. You already know that though. Wait. Did it? Yeah, I am public. Okay, because sometimes this thing won't let you be public, and you be sitting here like talking for minutes, and it still won't be public, and it's like, what the fuck going on? I should be public by now, but I'm gonna have to go in there and double check anyway, because this is what you have to do in this. But let's work on this part. It's a lot of little mechanic stuff that you got to do when you're doing this kind of work on YouTube. As you start going live and things like that in your own world, you'll know these little stages and steps that you want to do for your people. All right, so let's get over here to my video I want to show you guys real quick. And this guy, I had never heard of him. His name is Dub or something like that. He got a brand called a clothing brand. Let me let the guy explain a little bit, because that way I don't have to try to explain it. Because again, I just learned about this guy today. So I want you guys to know about him too. Then we're going to get back into my conversation about this type of stuff. Oh, wait. I got to make sure I'm live though, because that's something that you got to do when you're doing this work. Because I still don't see no activity. So let me make sure that it worked over here. Because I'm on mobile, so it should be working. Yeah, it's working. Gang. What's good? All right, so let's get to dude. He's right here. His name is Dub, but I want y'all to learn his story real quick so we can talk about it. All right, let's flip the camera over And y'all can learn about this cat right here.
An awful lot of cough syrup. He went from hustling on the streets to building a brand worn by A-list celebrities like Future, Young Thug, Quavo, and Coi Leray. But how did he pull it off? How do you go from nothing to having collabs with some of the biggest names in the industry? Today, we're taking a closer look inside the rise of Desto's brand.
That's an awful lot of cough syrup. You must be really sick.
And trust me, this story is crazier than you think. My boy, what up, bro? Awful lot of it, bro.
What's going on with y'all?
We need an awful lot of free game today. What is this? This is your warehouse?
Come on, bro. You don't come in here controllerlessly. You come up here and observe.
Oh, my bad. I gotta check in.
Welcome to the warehouse. We in here working, bro. This shit ain't no joke. This ain't for fun. This ain't for games. You actually busting that. Right now, we're redoing the showroom. You know, you come in here, you see shit like this. You never been before drop. You know, double cut pockets. Don't. We know what y'all like to do. We don't do that Virgil 3% steal my shit. Don't come with no 1 cup pocket, 3 cup pockets. It's already been patented. Quick tour. This is the showroom. We got about a $50,000 DTG machine over there.
Damn.
You know, your manufacturer ain't got one of those.
This is the head honcho's office right here?
This is the office-sized closet, bro. A couple of my friends on that side.
On this wall of celebrities, which one is your favorite to work with?
Draco. I'll go Draco, because that's my best friend. As y'all see right here, Young Thug, big influence to the brand. You know, when he started wearing it, it like shot up tremendously.
How has it been managing 2 stores?
Well, 3.
3 stores, yeah. 2 in LA, 1 in Houston.
This is not no different. You feel me? Supply and demand. We got the recipe, so we can make 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates, 10 plates. And then out here where the magic happens. Walk around and take a look.
So let's get to it real quick. I just want to talk about it real fast. As y'all been seeing right now in this video, you see this guy. His name is Dub. Desco Dub, and so he got a clothing line called A Whole Lot of Cough Syrup. So I never heard of it, but apparently he's been in LA and he's been riding around with a van and he's been selling millions of clothes for like 4 or 5 years now, and his brand is taking off. And so I wanted to talk about that because this is like so incredibly important about starting a brand and then realizing if it's a world for it. So he took a song that was out by a guy named Draco the Ruler, and it's a song called A Whole Lotta. So I never heard the song before, but Draco the Ruler passed away. So I think that's the kid name. He passed away. So rest in peace to him. So this guy, I guess, was his friend. So he actually started making a song. He made a clothing brand off of the song. So now his clothing brand is called A Whole Lotta Cough Syrup. But he said you could switch it with anything. A whole lot of cough syrup, a whole lot of cars, a whole lot of jackets, a whole lot of hood films. So he's turned a van he had in LA. He drove around in it and he sold clothes for years. All the celebrities would come in town. He would sell them clothes, hit them with the gear and all that shit. So now he got a big ass warehouse in LA and he making mad motherfucking money off of his stuff. And that's really important to know because again, not giving up and not selling clothes. He made sure he tried. That's really what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. He made me pause. He made sure he tried. And now he got his brand out there so big. I never heard of it. I was just like shocked. Like, God damn, for real? This guy got this brand out here like this? So I'm going to get back to it so we can learn a little bit more about him because apparently he's this brand is shooting up the world, you know what I'm saying? And I know I never heard of it. If you ever heard of it, you can let me know in the comment section. But I never heard of this thing. But I'm glad that I'm learning about it now. You know what I'm saying? A Whole Lot of Cough Syrup is the name of his brand. You know what I'm saying? And he got a clothing, so it's a clothing line. So I'm going to cut the green screen off so y'all can actually see it because with the green screen on, you can't really see the back. You can't really see the video that well. So let me let y'all see some more of it.
Just look around. You feel me? Over here, we have a lot of our designs that we're working on, and we just figure out a time and place for it.
How far out are you? Like next year, next season?
I know we're kind of behind right now with the new store coming in and eating this shit up faster than we can make it. The main thing that probably is a little bit harder is kind of figuring out the analytics of the new store. You know, Houston might like pants more than LA like pants. So just finding out what they like and feeding it to them. It's like you don't want to give them a plate full of spaghetti and they don't even like the spaghetti sauce. You might have to go Alfredo.
I feel like your brand is like the #1 brand for activations plus pop-ups and clothes.
So he sets the tone. You know, it's more like a party. Cool Kicks. Well-established brand.
No, wait, hold up. You got an awful lot of belly game coming?
Awful lot of belly game. Shout out my boy. I'm
that's dope.
This is the collab I'm doing with the Hundreds.
You got a collaboration with the Hundreds coming out. This is insane. Awful lot of beers. This is what is it? A barbershop?
James Harden.
Oh, that went over my head.
James Harden.
All right, so now we get to this segment. And as you can see, when he go to an awful lot of, he got basically a lot of collaborations with major brands that already are established. But what they would be lacking is your audience, is your people, the people who rock with you. For instance, I'm the Hood Films master, right? So I'll have a fan base that rock with me. They're not necessarily in this video right now, but they'll be rocking with me. So then if I go hook up with, let's say Rolex, and they'll say, damn, well, shit, you got 100,000 people that rock out with you. They buy your clothes. We could see from the price and see how y'all building up the brand. Yo, let's collab. You know what I'm saying? Put the Hood Films hat with the shirt and a t-shirt, and then boom, now you ain't got the Apple Watch, you got the Rolex. You know what I'm saying? And people will be, oh shit, now I gotta give me an Apple or Hood Films Rolex. I gotta give me a Hood Films. So basically collaborations is important. And this guy later on in the video, he says that collaborations is the most important thing. He makes more money from collaborations than he actually does from selling clothes. So that means what? When you do a collaboration with somebody, it's probably an upfront deal that you'll make from them, and then you go out there and you collab on these clothes and you try to put it in different markets to see if people will buy it. But not every time those people are gonna buy that, so it's taking a chance. You know, just because they put money up towards the brand or collaborate with you on a product, don't mean that people gonna already all the time take to it. But the fact that you collab with these brands, for instance, the hundreds, he just mentioned James Harden, he just mentioned just so many brands right now that he is collaborating with, and each time that is a check. They hit them with a check instantly. So that's like now you get the back end check if you can see how many people buy the product. So this is very important to learn about opening your brand, having a brand out there. You know, mine is a filmmaking brand. As you can see, I have my Circle R. I've had it for mad years. I got clothes, I got hats, I got so much branded stuff. It's not even real. I mean, I got mad amounts of branded products that I got. As you can see, another one of my hats, and then I got so much other stuff. This is on my rap side where I do music. This is actually one of my albums, but it's hooked up as a USB, and you get my products this way as well. So we really are pushing really hard on our brand. So seeing this guy push his brand, I gotta highlight him because I never heard of him, and I'm happy. And if you come over to my show right now, or whenever you watch this on the playback, make sure you check my movie out right there in the comment section called Killer Rapper. It's on Tubi and it's free and it's just for you. All right, let's get back to the show.
Bro, what's the secret to getting all these collaborations? I feel like people try to
relationships. I take real good pride on my network, and besides my network, it's just how your brand is represented. You know, nobody want to do a collaboration with a bum. So, you know, they see me pull up in that Rolls Royce, looking good, smelling good. They're like, hold on, how can I get some of that money? A lot of people be giving me bad talk for cough syrup, so we're starting a more elevated brand called ALOS. Abbreviation for awful lot of cough syrup, but it's just less print. Like, these pens are ALOS. It's like, how do you say you sip cough syrup without saying you sip cough syrup? One big thing that we're going crazy for is these wife beaters. Everybody's wearing these things. And I feel like a lot of people be thinking that this shit is like made overnight, but it's not made overnight. Like, I probably ordered about 250 wife beaters, and it took me giving out most of those just to get the buzz going. These cargo shorts, I gave out a lot. I got some wallet chains. I gave out all the wallet chains before anybody even asked for them. I feel like you're the...
All right, you heard that part. So that's a very important part. So you see the hats I'm wearing and the shirts that I have with my brand on it, you have to be willing to give it out. Now, I just got a new trademark for a new one of my new brands called Self-Madeology. So I'm really happy. It's been about a good week so far. I've had been the new owner of the word Self-Madeology. That's one of my trademarks. And as you can see, I have a few products already built up off of that particular name brand. You know what I'm saying? So you see right here, one of the hats, Self-Madeology hat. That's my brand right there. Then I got it also like this. And then when you cop my Self-Madeology brand, you can actually get the signed copy of it right there on the back. You know what I'm saying? So, and this will be my signature hat with my actual signature on it. And I just do like special runs like these so that when people want to rock with me and I know that they official, I give them one of these official hats. But you do that, have to give a lot out. You have to give a lot away for free. So a lot of stuff that you see, I may have just around here. I may build a lot of products out, and then I'll just, give them to people like family or whatever. And it allows you to constantly always be making products and always be having something to give people, I always be trying to set my hats back up, and they always fall. You already know what that's all about. This is another one of my brands. I was doing I Love Chicago run, and this was a fun one. You know what I'm saying? I got shirts and all kind of shit about my Love Chicago run. And so, you know, to my left right here is my big machine to create this stuff. Over there's my heat press. And we building up these products. So I try to set my stuff back up. But, you know, so learning about this guy's brand is really dope because he's doing a lot of big things over there in California. I'm going to try to jump to one of the other dope parts I like about his documentary real quick. And then we can get back to the show. But let's get over here to his documentary real quick. I think it's like over this way. Where he's talking. I'm going to skip around.
Like this?
Yeah, I'm going to let this commercial run through. And then we be right back on it in a second.
I'm here.
Shut up. All right, let's get to it. Hit the sound.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I always knew I'll be driving in a nice car.
Man, they smoking us with the commercials, like back to back to back to back to crack to crack to crack. Let's get back to it. All right, let's see if I can get to the part that I want to see. It's nice right up in this area. All right, let's sound up.
How much do you think you made? Now let's get back into the video. So you started your whole career, your whole business with this van right here.
This van right here was the first vehicle that I purchased before I even had a car of my own. Out of this van, I done had numerous artists pull it up to my parking lot during COVID with the whole world shutting down and me still selling clothes. I was the only place a lot of these people could get clothes because they're still flying in, grabbing bags. Because when COVID shut down, the underground kind of went up. This van probably, I was making $10,000, $12,000 a day out of this van. No overhead, no nothing. All I had to do was pay for a parking spot.
How much do you think you made out of this van total?
Probably done made like over an M out of this van, just out the parking lot. I got the van because I will pull up on somebody in the car, and like let's say you order a small t-shirt. I pull up on you with a small, but your homie wanted an XL. So the car couldn't hold that much inventory, so I had to get something to hold a little bit more inventory, and that's how the van was born. And then over here, we got my baby. Y'all know I like to do festivals, and I used to do these.
So we could chop about that real quick. So as you can see, he went and he broke his neck to go get his ass a goddamn van, which allowed him to take his products on the road. So you building out your products. You got the hats, you got the t-shirts, you got the business shirts for work. Now what you got to do? You got to hit the streets. So what he was able to do was go get himself a van. And he had another point in his video where he shows you the van without it being painted. It was just a regular white van. And he would drive around picking up people and helping them out. But then by doing collabs and selling his product, he was able to get that van wrapped with the logo. And it was done up pretty dope, as you see, real purple and loud colors. And now he's able to ride around the town of LA selling his brand or pulling up the parties or pulling up the events. And now he's making money from the fact that he got enough product inside that van to sell. So this is very, very important when you start your brand out, and you got to get it out to people. So it's not just create the product, you know, that's one element of it. And you notice that he's not talking about online. He's not saying, hey, I sold this on the internet, or I had a page online. That's like maybe down the line. And he does have a channel right now that's online, but it's down the line. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to wait to get that going on. It was pushed up some. So for him to actually be able to put his product out here in the streets and so many people support him, and he's got it looking good, and he's got cuts, and he's actually creating a high-end brand, it was a no brainer. So he got a lot of success just from doing that too. So let's get back to the conversation. I always cut the green screen off because I want to be able to see this. I want y'all to be able to see this, doc.
Huge build outs. I think my first Rolling Loud, I probably spent about like $120,000 just on the build out.
It's essentially like a food truck, but for shirts and hoodies.
Everything that you see is all marketing tools. So even if you are buying something, you're aware of it. Right here, this is my baby. This is a company card. Company card, full write off. This is the shader.
What is a shader?
You, I drive this more than anything. This is the car that I drive the most to just be low key. Low key Prius 2012. I done been in this car park and people never not have a size for you. If you need it, you got it.
Have you seen the Netflix documentary on him?
I love it. for a minute, and then eventually like he kind of like stopped working for me, and I wasn't aware of all of the stuff that he was doing, and I didn't pay my taxes for about like my sales taxes for about 3 months, and then I did Rolling Loud, probably invested about 200,000 into it to try to make back 2x 3x or some shit, and when it came to me, the IRS took it. I'm paying back vendors, Rolling Loud, hey, where's our money at? I'm like, I'm just fighting to try to get the money back. So that was probably like one of my.
So that's a real key point right there. He breaking down now about the aspect of making sure you got your bills paid, because you can see when you start building up and scaling up, it could be points where people want to actually sue you and get in your face and bring you to task and act like you did something wrong. Even the IRS driving reckless at you saying, yo, you got to pay this wasn't paid and all that. So big dreams could come with some kind of flack. So try to be smart in your endeavor so that you're not necessarily building up a criminal situation. You got something that's legit. It's not something that people come back to later and just try to sue you and take your whole company or whatever. Even the IRS shooting you down, putting a lien on you, taking the money from your investment. That's not smart. But he said for 3 months he never even paid sales tax. So it's reasons and all that stuff is in play. And if you skip over any of that stuff, it could be a problem. It also is a limit. It's like a number limit that if you make under this amount of money, you might not have to pay it so much, but you would have to check with in your particular state. Even just call or go down there and ask them, like, what's the process and what do I need to do? This is what I'm doing. And they can look it right up on the form and be like, okay, if this is what you're doing, this is what you need to be doing. And then you be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's just all learning things and gaining, more knowledge. But learning from people like this guy is great because he's not afraid to put himself out there. I never heard of this person. I haven't been in LA, and when I was, it was just short bursts. It wasn't like I was staying and, going to the club. So for him to actually be somebody from there and doing what he's doing, and it's like crazy to come from the hip hop industry part of it. So and that's really key, because hip hop is really where he got a lot of his push from, because the hip hop industry is so big.
I had a crazy idea.
All right, so we got more commercials. So, this is really one of those videos where I wanted to just kind of break down to you guys about somebody that's doing it in the role we in, but not necessarily in filmmaking. He's doing it in clothing, which I also have brands. I got a new brand called Self-Madeology, so I'm going to be doing a lot more for that brand, building out, and hopefully it'll be big like this guy's brand. But if you got your own brand, I want to know what you call it. What's the reason you call it that? Let me know about your brand. What are you building? What are you creating? And then I could probably feature you on here. We could talk about your stuff or talk about what you got going on and how you actually moving through and navigating as a creator. You know what I'm saying? So, because we see what this guy's doing. He's really locked in on his clothing line, and his clothing line is famous. Like, I never heard of it, but it's big. So let's get back to the conversation.
You think that you would be able to live like this?
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I always knew I'll be driving in a nice car, living in a nice house, wearing jewelry. I just always thought it was somebody else's.
Can you explain this photo to me? What is this photo? This is the photo that started it all?
This is the motivation, bro. That truck over there, before I even got it wrapped, I used to drive around selling clothes out of it, and it was crazy since it was all white. The police would think, this is around the time when it was kidnapping kids and shit. So,
This is the photo that started it all?
this is the motivation, bro. That truck over there, before I even got it wrapped, I used to drive around selling clothes out of it, and it was crazy since it was all white. The police would think, this is around the time when it was kidnapping kids and shit. So they would pull me over. I wouldn't have no license. They would take me out the car, pull all of my clothes out of there, search it, and then let me go. And I would go through that around 2 or 3 times a day. That's what pushed me to get it wrapped, because I'm like, bro, I'm not fucking picking up kids, bro. I'm just dropping off clothes.
How do you come up with stuff like this? Like, this is crazy. This was inside of your store?
This was something that we made for one of my first collaborations with Asali. It used to be a working fountain. The lean would come out of here into a cup, and then it would funnel back in and come back out again. And then after a year or two, Be Cozy, world-renowned airbrush artist, he came through and just started going crazy.
We're big fans of Made and Coup, right?
So let's talk about
how Made has impacted the culture.
If y'all ever was inspired,
let's go ahead and talk about that real quick too, because as you can see, he was able to take what they are into, like they're into lean. So that's the drink of the day or the get high zone thing that they into, and so they started doing lean. So he was able to take lean, which is syrup, and turn it into a brand. So a person like me who grew up a little older and shit, and weed was the drug of our time, and it was like, oh yeah, we were smoking weed and all this shit, and it was just Snoop Dogg, that was our era. So now you fast forward to lean, it's like I'm completely confused. Like I don't even I mean I remember one time as being like a little teenager, like 18, and we was in the army and shit, and some guys started getting high off the cough syrup and shit like that, but it was no name for it. It was just like, we didn't have alcohol, so everybody was like, yo, you can get drunk off the cough syrup. Like, oh, okay, cool. But it was no name for it. And then I ain't like how it made me feel, like it was extreme drowsiness. I'm like, oh, this is not nothing I like. So anyway, weed was the thing that was my time frame. So now you fast forward way into the future, and now it's called lean, and it's cough syrup, but it's probably some special kind of cough syrup. I think my homie called it promethazine or some shit like that. So this is for the time frame. So he took that thing that he knows exists. So you know what I'm saying? And now he makes his money from that because he built a clothing line. So let's go back to when I was 21, right? You're talking about 1994, right? So Snoop Dogg had been out, right? Him and Dr. Dre, they got an album, and the song was called Gin and Juice as a laid bag and around my money, my mind. So this was the shit. Now this was big. I'm 21, 22. I mean, this was the biggest motherfucking song, and we loved it in the hood. We was rocking it to that shit. So when you think about today, you go inside certain liquor stores, and they got gin and juice liquor with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre sitting on a 64 vehicle, right there. It's Chevy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're like, oh damn, look, I'm walking in. I forgot what store we was in. Whatever they got, the one they call it here. I can't think of the name of it no more. But it's like a liquor, the main bougie liquor store, right? So and you go in there, and it's like I didn't even know they had this, But they were able to. Now 30 years ago, when this song was the shit, and I'm 21, 22, we didn't think about, damn, they need a fucking brand called Gin and Juice. We thought about that furthermore about Snoop because, right after Snoop did his thing, Master P came, and then he started branding real crazy. So then everybody was on the branding game. But when Snoop was out with the gin and juice, nobody thought about him having his own gin and juice liquor being sold in the stores. I think he was even talking about Tanqueray at that time. He was talking about Tanqueray, putting their brand on the map as far as liquor did, because I didn't even really know nothing about Tanqueray before that, but I used to drink the shit out of that shit at that time. So when you talk about utilizing the thing that you into and brand it from that, you know what I'm saying? So that lean is the liquor of today, or the alcohol, whatever they call it, to get drunk today. And that's what he did, to use that. And so the guy asked him in this little interview segment we're going to watch right here about the name. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to it.
By me is because of Made. But once I started using Made, I started having that supreme type of quality, which made other artists really mess with my brand. And Cool was one of them first people. I met him at a party through another friend. He told me he had a blank company, and he got to a point where I still am Made's #1 customer for buying blanks. I'm probably doing over $1 million a year just on buying blanks from me.
R.I.P. Cool. I mean, as you can see, he's made a crazy impact on this culture, the streetwear culture, and just...
I met you too, Cool.
Yes, we did.
He was talking about the Made blanks. My wife was like, hey, some guys on here saying, yeah, this is Made. I think you went something.
Journey, right? From trapping out of the parking lot with the van to here. What are some things that you've learned along the way? What is one thing that you've learned along the way?
It's all about keeping a relationship. I didn't dig collaborations with people where it made nothing, but I still paid them out just because I didn't want nobody going around like, yeah, I did it with him, we ain't make shit. And I just wanted to keep the relationship, because to me, relationships make money. I make more money off of relationships than I do off of clothes. That's why y'all see so many collaborations. Brands will go out and see these activations that I do, and they'll instantly think, if you're smart and you see me do a Four Loko party and you have a liquor company, you're gonna be like, why isn't that my liquor company? And all those come from just, even if I'm not selling out or it's not a great event, me putting that image out that it was. Them recaps is everything. If I only got 5 people in line, I'm hitting that motherfucker with the camera to look like, look, as soon as I walk outside, it's a line.
Do you think you have to drink cough syrup to wear your brand?
What? No. What? It's way past that, bro. It's way past that. So my brand is big off a lot of cough syrup, but it's really, cough syrup can be anything you want it to be. It could be off a lot of water. It could be off a lot of cars. It could be off a lot of Durangos. It could be off a lot of kids.
The brand is more of off a lot of it versus the cough syrup part.
Yeah, off a lot of it. But what I can say is the main people that do wear the brand do sip cough syrup. So it's kind of like a hidden gem. So I'm making something that all of the big people that sip cough syrup want to wear. Now they've created a market for me with all of their fans. So it's kind of like a circle effect, okay? I don't sip cough syrup, but my favorite artists do, but y'all can't even get cough syrup to sip it. So what do? I'm going to wear the clothes. I'm going to wear the shirt.
Yeah. If you could go back to the 18-year-old version of yourself, what's one thing that you would tell yourself?
Stop gang banging, put the drugs down, stop following these niggas. You don't need these niggas, bro. You think
Yo, so that's really the whole gist of this guy, this young bro. His name is Dub or something like that. He's up there in California. He made a clothing line called Desto Dub. That's his name, Desto Dub. He made a clothing line called Whole Lotta. That's a whole lot of syrup, and it's like one of those unique things that I think need to be highlighted because I never heard of him. I never heard of it, and I'm glad to hear about it because wow, it's like damn, he built his own brand from actually just starting out and just never try, never stop, never giving up. And you see by him opening up the idea of having a brand, he was able to get all these collaborations from other people who wanted to work with him. And that's very key and that's very important. If you want to build wealth, if you got a great hustle, you want to make sure that you're building relationships with people so that you can have things going on in your future. You see, he said even when he collaborated with people and they didn't make money, he still paid that person as if they did. Why? Because he said, I want to keep the relationship. And I don't want that person going out there saying, yo, I worked with this person and we didn't make no money. So these are collaborations, whether they collaborating on a hat or we're collaborating on a shirt, collaborating on some kind of physical item, you know, like a product or something like this, then that collaboration, because this is the thing, and then they name go right there or they name go on at the bottom. And so it's a double project, a double product to get out here to the people. But then everything is not going to work. Everything is not going to go perfect and supremely the way you want it. So sometimes things can crash. And then if it crash, what? You still got to take care of the other person on the other end. Why? Because you want that person to keep a good name out for you. So, and a last thing, another one of the things he said is his brand is not just about syrup. It's just that that's the name of it. But it could be about anything. It could be about cars. It could be about dancing. It could be about food. It could be about whatever you into. So and so it's basically a whole lot of. That's a whole lot of is his brand. For this particular run is syrup, called syrup. But you see, he has a whole lot of beards. That's a whole lot of. He got hundreds. He got the hundreds clothing line. They actually got a collab with him. So these is just very very good wealth hustle ideals and things that you can learn about and find more about this person out here. Desto Dub is his name. He's out there in LA. He got a fly clothing line called That's a Whole Lot of Cough Syrup. And I think it's dope because he's using his time, his era to actually put out his thing. And that's exactly what I did with my brand. I was 25 years old. It was 1998. And at that time, they had a few little hood movies out, namely Bout It, Bout It by Master P. And when I watched it, it had to be about 1996. And I said, I'm going to get me a camera. And then about 2 years later, a year and a half later, I had me a camera. And so I was just walking around with a camera, and next thing I had to go and make me a movie. And so I said, Hood, my last name is Hood. I'm living in the hood. I'm standing literally in the hood with my camera. And it was Hood Films was born. And I started creating my own independent movies. And obviously, over the time, you know, I'd get the trademark. And now you see a lot of people claiming they're Hood Films and everything like that, which I'm so happy for that too, because the name didn't exist before that. That's why I said I wanted to be Hood Films, because I thought of it as a genre of filmmaking. Because as a filmmaker, I said this is a genre that needs to live. I saw Baller Blocking. I saw I'm Bout It by Master P. And I said this movie has to continue. At that time, the movies that was considered hood movies was still made by white companies like New Line Cinema, like Touchstone, whatever. They were producing movies like Posse by Mario Van Peebles. They were putting movies out like South Central. They were putting movies out like Boys in the Hood and New Jack City and so many more. And that was a large part of my young life, you know, watching those movies and Trespass even, though I hated it, was a part of watching the movie. And Ice Cube, Ice T, these are movies was a part of my life. You know, the hip hop becoming filmmakers was a part of my transition to adulthood. So that's why I said this has always been a part of my life. So when I see guys who build brands to the level that he's got, I'm proud of it. So I want y'all to be proud of yourself too. And check my movie out. It's right there called Killer Rapper. It's going to be in the comment section. You'll be able to check it out when you get a second. And thank y'all for watching this video on a playback or whenever you get a chance to see it. I'll get back at y'all in a minute.